Hello everyone, and welcome to my 2019 and January bullet journal setup. So I'm really excited. It's the new year and I made some spreads just for the new year overall for 2019, and then I go into my January monthly spreads. So let's get started. On the first page here, I wanted to kind of introduce 2019, kind of transition from the old year to the new year. So I started off with a quote page, and the quote says, "The happiest people don't have the best of everything, they just make the best of everything." And I saw that on Pinterest or something, and I just really liked it. So all I did was write it out in some fancy calligraphy, and it was really fun to just practice like my handwriting and stuff because I haven't done that in a while. So it was really just like fun and interesting to fill out this whole page and practice it with my pens. So I really like how that turned out on the left side. And then on the right here, I just did a little 2019 kind of cover page. I found this design on Pinterest for like a 2018 design, but I just switched it to 2019 and kind of did another fancy font of the numbers and then just wrote in the blank space in the middle 2019 in some cursive. I use a lot of cursive in the spread, and I also use just all simple black pens and markers. So I really like how it turned out, very simple and monochromatic. So the next page here is my resolutions spread, and this is basically just where I'm going to write my resolutions. I haven't made them yet, so right now it's going to be blank, and I just have the title at the top. But of course, once I figure out what my resolutions are for the new year, I will fill in that page. Probably going to be like a doodly, like artsy page or something like that. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. And then on the right side there, I have it titled This Year, which is basically just going to be a year in pixel spread. If you don't know what that is, you just create a grid for every day of the year. So a 12 by 31 grid, 12 months in the year, 31 days in most months. And then for each little box represents a day, and you fill in that box corresponding with a color that represents some sort of mood. So on the right side there, I have moods ranging from amazing to sad, and I will dedicate a color to each of them, and then each day you just fill in the little box with the mood that you're feeling. And this spread is really cool because then by the end of the year you can see how your year went overall with your moods. You can look for how many great days you had and good days, and then you can see how many sad days you had, and obviously you want to try to have as many good days as possible. So I'm really excited to fill this out and see how it looks at the end of the year. So right now I'm just numbering all of the little rows and filling in those black boxes at the bottom to represent the months that don't have 31 days. And I also haven't decided yet on what colors I'm going to use for each of the moods. So once I figure it out, I will just dedicate a color for each of the little moods there and fill them in as I go throughout the year. So this next spread here is a semester at a glance. Now I do this every semester in my bullet journal, and it's super helpful. So all I did, of course, was title the page, and I drew this little black flag, and I do this a little bit more in my bullet journal because I really like how it turned out. And then I just write with my white gel pen on top of it. But basically on this left side here, I will be writing all the information for my classes for this semester, the teacher, where it's at, what time it's at, the building, so that I have all the information for the first couple of weeks when you're just getting used to your classes and stuff, and I have it as a reference. So I didn't fill that out yet because I didn't want you guys knowing where I am every day during the semester. That would be a little creepy. But on the right side here, I did, once again, semester at a glance, but calendar style, where I just wrote out the calendars for the next 4 months of the semester, so January to April, just as a reference. And then in the beginning of the semester, I go through all the syllabuses, syllabi, whatever they are, and I go through and write down all the important dates and put it on this page here so I always know when everything is due. This was extremely helpful last semester, and I really recommend if you are a student. So that is all for the general 2019 stuff. Now I'm moving on to January specifically. So I'm creating kind of a January dashboard, I would say, where I have all the main things that I will be referencing for the month of January on the spread here. So I first create a little box calendar. It's just really small, just so that I can write in any important dates or events or whatever into this little box calendar. I don't expect to like fill it out like crazy or anything. And then again, I put those two little banners at the bottom, which I didn't end up writing in the titles for until later on, but I think I write events and to do, just that once again I can keep track of any important events, any to-dos I want to do for the month, etc., etc. And then on the right side here, I'm doing my habit trackers. So I have 6 habit trackers, and they're in these funky little shapes because that just matches the setup of the calendar for the month. So they're just little mini calendars that you once again fill out the block for every day that you do the habit for. So my 6 habits end up being journaling, meditating, stretching, YouTube, blog, and workout. So the top 3 are things that I'm going to do every day, hopefully, and the bottom 3 are things that I want to do most days and are just tracking when I do them. So like I said, I fill out the 2 little banners on the left there, and on the bottom right side I do a brain dump where you can just write down whatever ideas come to your mind and just organize them later. So that is it for my January dashboard, as I called it. And then we are on to the final spread for this January setup, which is just January memories, and all I do is write January memories across the 2 pages and leave it all blank. And this way I'm planning on filling out little blurbs of things that I do, putting in pictures, drawing doodles, kind of just creating a collage of all the memories from January. And I did this a long time ago in one of my old bullet journals, and I was looking back and I really liked how they turned out. So it kind of just forces me to track down my memories, and even the little things that you don't think of later in the month, you can write them down and remember them for the end of the month. So I really like it. Alright, so that is it for my bullet journal setup this video. We started off with the quote page and the little Hello 2019 introductory page, and then my resolutions, which I will fill out once I make them, and my year in pixels spread. And then we move on to my semester at a glance, where I'll write down all my class information and any important due dates and such. And then my January dashboard with the little calendar, the to-dos, my habit trackers, and brain dump. And finally, the January memories. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you recreate any of this, share with me on social media. I would love to see.